Virginia's being poisoned by corruption all the livelong day. Our assembly is corrupting with dominion to sell our rights away. Can't you hear the Senate pleading? Dominion, give me more. Can't you hear delegates pleading? Give me more than before. Dominion, won't you pay? Dominion, won't you pay? Dominion, won't you pay for all our suits and yachts? Dominion, won't you get? Dominion, won't you get a dangerous, corrupt pipeline permit? The assembly's in the kitchen with Dominion. Wells Fargo's they're just cooking up some swill. FERC and DEQ endorse pollution. If they rubber stamp this pipeline bill, politicians sing a fee to defy and IO. A fee to dance with Dominion IO. Want to line their pockets from Dominion. And to hell with the rights of Virginians.
We're here on the T. Potterfield Bridge, and we're dropping banners about the pipeline because right now it's the water permitting process for the Department of Environmental Quality, and they've finished the hearings so far, and it's time for the Water Control Board to vote on whether they're going to give the 401 permit or not to the pipeline. It's all about water, and a bunch of us just spent 4 days kayaking down the James River to bring attention to the impact that the pipeline would have on our watershed, because if you blast through the mountains where the streams and the headwaters of the river are, and if you go across the Cow Pasture River, which is the river that leads into the James and creates the James, then you will inevitably impact the James River. Hold on, I'm getting instructions. So anyway, we're saying from our experience in the environment, walking the pipeline routes through the mountains and journeying on kayaks down the James River, that from our experience and relationship that we have now with the environment, that it's absolutely impossible to think that the ACP wouldn't dramatically impact the James River and a lot of other rivers too, the drinking water of many, many people. And so I personally believe that the pipeline should not be built at all. We're asking that the public comment period be extended another 90 days, which is one of our legal rights as citizens. But really, if you're going to look at it, there are currently, Houston is underwater. There are hurricanes coming to Florida, the largest reported hurricanes in the Atlantic in the history of recorded history. And it's just a really inappropriate time to build natural gas pipelines and to invest billions of dollars into natural gas pipelines. It's time to invest that money into renewable infrastructure. And enough is enough. And I don't know what has to happen in order for these corporations to understand that enough is enough.
18 days ago, a group of conservationist Virginians who are deeply concerned about a massive pipeline that is scheduled to be built across central Virginia, in fact there are two of them, began walking the right-of-way line of that pipeline, starting at the West Virginia border. The pipeline is going to run 150 miles from Buchanan, West Virginia, pulling liquid natural gas out of the Marcellus Shale deposits, and it's going to come across the heartland of central Virginia. It's going to go across the green center of our precious Blue Ridge Mountains and come down to the region of Scottsville, Virginia and Buckingham County, where a massive compressor station will be built. The thing continuously makes this sound day and night while compressing and pulling the gas along. It's been sited in an African American community that does not have much political voice. We've got a drone getting ready to come in that you might want to see. But when we got to Yogaville and Buckingham County, we put canoes and kayaks into the river, and we've just come 70 miles down the river checking on water quality. We're deeply concerned that this pipeline, which will cross over 1,000, I'll say the number again, 1,000 streams and rivers in reaching its terminus, we are deeply concerned that water hazards and leakage hazards are going to spill this methane leakage gas into our water supply. So we titled our latest section, the first section of our trip was called Walking the Line, walking the actual right-of-way line of the pipeline. And the second segment was called Journey the James. And both are aimed to say to Dominion, stop this madness. We've just tried to deliver a letter. In fact, I'm holding the letter right here. I tried to deliver it to Mr. Farrell, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Dominion. And what Mr. Farrell said was, get off of my property or I'll call the police. He said it 3 times. So it's very hard to reach out to him. And the song that we sang about Dominion a moment ago says that Dominion, that building right there, actually owns and runs. It operates the state of Virginia. And Dominion has bought these pipeline right-of-ways. So that's the general gist, David, of what we're doing.
When did you deliver the letter?
We tried to deliver the letter about 45 minutes ago.
So he's acting hostile to you.
He did not come down and speak to us. He had a security guard ask us to leave the property. We could not even get on the property of Dominion.
Thank you.
Louder.
No cat oil! It's the best!
No pipelines!
Resistance!
No pipelines! No ECP! No MVP!
We had the bald eagles and ostrich.
Water is life.
Water is
Water is life. Water is life. No pipeline. Water is life. No pipeline.
Them, I think. My name is Malik, and hi everybody. It was a powerful trip, and I'd forgotten about some of the challenges and adversities that Lainey highlighted a couple of minutes ago. It was fun to remember the bridge and Seeds of Peace feeding us under the bridge. And wow. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is how easy it is to hang out with activists. They're such wonderful people. And I remember saying during the trip, kind of halfway through, or maybe more than halfway through the trip, if you can't find your tribe in this group right here that's journeying down the James, you are in deep shit.
The blessings, we had a Native American, we had a Wicca blessing, we had a blessing from I believe it says Shinto, a healer. 3 healers came up and we had blessings, and it felt like, you know, I guess when I came there, I thought we were going to kayak down the river, but when we left after these blessings, it felt like we were carrying the hopes and dreams of numerous other people, and the way they sent us off, it was like we were, it was sort of like we were spiritual carriers of some kind, and it had a profound effect on me. I felt like, wow, this is much, much bigger than just simply moving down a river on a kayak, and I felt like, wow, there was a spiritual experience that sent us off, and I think probably, even though I couldn't go the whole time, I think it carried through for the rest of the folks. Thank you.
Cool. My name is Natalie, and I went on the trip 4 days. I have a lot to say that goes off of exactly what Rich just transferred onto you guys, which was that send-off that was so powerful, and the Native American blessing that we received. Her name was Diani Bluestar, and she really invoked a lot of spirit in me. She sent off whoever wanted to be blessed with a smudge, with a sage smudge, before we got on the river, and she really wanted us to know that the James River, right, was named by colonists. And she was like, they want favor with the King James. Her original name is Waloa, and she is our grandmother. And that really, really hit me really deep. And so each day, as we paddled those 70 or so odd miles, the wildlife was changing, and the river depth was changing, the vegetation was changing, but the whole time you're being carried by this energy, and no matter what obstacles or rapids came your way, you were carried by Waloa. And I can't help but think of these first few moments where you approach some rapids, and I have experience on the water, but not like this. And so we would come up on some of these rapids, they were really intimidating, and I was kind of like, how am I going to navigate this? And sometimes I would try really hard to like pick a line and paddle really hard and get down that line, aim for that V. And sometimes that didn't work out so well, or I'd like hit it sideways and bobble a little bit. There were some times when I finally just remembered what Diani told us, that Waloa is behind us and she is our grandmother. She cares about us. And I just stopped and recognized that we are all doing our very best to protect our grandmother. And I just stopped paddling, and I let the river carry me, and it almost always carried me exactly where I needed to go to traverse these rapids. And it was a really cool moment. It was a really cool moment. So thank you all for supporting us, and thank you, Seeds of Peace, because I've never experienced support like that on any trip in my life, and it was beyond needed. And yeah, thank you guys all for your support, for sure. When next time you go down to the river, just remember her first name is Waloa, and thank her. Yeah, thanks.
The people that are, you know, all on the same team, like it was a really beautiful group of people. It was like so nice to get to hang out with everybody. I mean, it was really awesome. Seeds of Peace was awesome. And yeah, it was a blessing to be a part of it.
That the pipeline is proposed to go that would end in Yogaville, and during that walk there was some talks about how there was going to be this boat trip, and I got excited as soon as that idea was thrown out in the air. I even had like dreams about this, like as it was coming up towards it, and I was so looking forward to it. And it exceeded all my expectations, and it really just seemed like, yeah, like supernatural powers were on our side. Like the blessings were heard. The weather was pretty good all the time, and even the times when it rained, it was like how just like at the end of it there was the dry clothes and the fire going. It just like it made it so that the times when it was just a little bit hard, it made it so that at the end of it was just like you appreciated it so much more to just have like those dry clothes and to have, yeah, like the community and the music, like that night after the rain, that was so fun, like playing music and just like really good spirit, and like, yeah, it's just really, we have a really powerful team. It's just like so cool to like, just like be like with your family and see how there's so many of it. There's a lot of, we're a big, powerful family, and we have so many resources, and we have so much richness in our heart, and so much, like, I think we have a fighting chance for making a new world, like just looking at all this together and what we can do together. And I'm so grateful to have been able to be included in this really special opening vision of the world that's coming. Yeah, thank you all.
Our second day was actually the most fun day, but it was the longest day. It was like 25 miles. We were trying to get to Elk Isle, but the storm started coming in, and we saw some lightning, and we wanted to get off, and we had gone pretty far, so we pulled into Columbia Boat Landing to have dinner, and that's where we got caught under the bridge, and all that magic happened with Seas of Peace setting up underneath the bridge. And so we decided to just go ahead and guerrilla camp in the boat landing, even though we hadn't gotten permission. And there was an open field kind of right past a tree line, and that's where we decided to set up the tents. And we were just like, we're just going to risk it. I hope nobody kicks us out. And you could kind of feel in the camp, we were all comfortable with that, but there was a little bit of anxiousness about hopefully we won't get kicked out in the middle of the night kind of thing. This black car pulls up, and it's this older gentleman with a business suit, and he kind of says to he says to the car, what are you celebrating? And we're like, we're celebrating the James River. And Laney runs over and starts talking to him, and he's like, well, I own this land. This is my land over here. My name is Jim Summers. I saw you on the news, and I want you to know I'm supporting what you're doing, and we're fighting our own pipeline here. They're trying to take water from the James River and pipe it over to Louisa, and I want you to go back to Richmond. I want you to give Dominion hell. I want you to take care of this community. And Jim Summers just like, I was right next to or behind Laney, kind of witnessing it, and it just filled me with such joy and such emotion. Kind of had to leave. I was getting very full of emotion, full of the water, in the eyes. It was really super powerful, right? Because when the car pulled up, I think a lot of us saw that, and we were all sort of like, uh-oh, what's going to happen, And then it was just this guy out in the country, who loves his river. It was like, I love my river too, and I don't want to see anything happen to this. And so thank you for defending these waters. And also for him to say, I saw you on the news, it felt like in that moment, we had only been with each other, and we didn't, I felt like I had forgotten, that other people were riding with us, whether they were with us or not. So it was a good reminder. So to Jim Summers.